Hello my friends, welcome to Breakfast with Sergio. In today's episode, I am visiting a brand new gallery here in Chicago, Salonlb, right behind this hallway. So come along, let's check it out. Hello my friends, welcome back to Breakfast with Sergio. I'm super excited because now I'm inside of Salonlb Gallery. I'm with Scott and Lauren. Good to see you guys.
Nice to see you too.
Now what's pretty exciting is that we're actually neighbors. The JBR Center is right across the street, and I'm super excited because you guys started this gallery here, Salonlb, which we're going to talk about. And the space is fabulous. Let me tell you, the space is amazing.
It's pretty good.
You have been talking to me about it. And let's talk a little bit about what is Salonlb first. So, Lauren, why don't you start a little bit how this idea came about?
Yeah, so, well, I'm an artist. I have a background in sculpture and installation-based work. A little bit of a dance theater background. So it's always been ultimately as an artist, you want to pursue that and be able to make a living doing that. And after college, I went on a different path, exploring the theater world, gallery world. Scott and I met in the gallery world, and then I fell into doing weddings and events, which informed a lot of kind of what we're going to be doing here. But through that, I realized ultimately that I wanted to go back into pursuing art, and I was trying to figure out a way to do that and make a living. And then I started seeing there's so many alternative art spaces just popping up everywhere. I mean, for better or worse, there's a lot of these sort of Insta or selfie museums happening. And I think the one good takeaway that I was able to pull from that is just that this was like another way for art to become more accessible to the masses. And I wanted to try to tap into that in some way, but using more of the contemporary art world like roots. And then, so it started out of like, let's make an art space. And then it really, developing a lot of like what it is. Scott has been very like instrumental in that. Like it's been a process for us, but it's really exciting.
That's cool. So Scott, when Lauren first told you about this idea, what was your reaction? It's something that
well,
like, why another gallery?
What was your reaction?
I knew Lauren was up to something for a while, and I kept on telling her, like, I'm available to, if you need to, because we've worked and collaborated together in a lot of different, at different galleries, or in different ways and creative ways. And knowing how passionate she is about things, I was just like, I want to be a part of this. So I just made myself very available for a very long time until she was ready to, all right, now we're doing it.
Right. So Scott, can you tell us a little bit about the actual space here? It's quite massive.
It is big.
Tell us a little bit about the space. We are, for our friends who only see a part of the screen right now, we are surrounded by windows, just about on three sides, right? So how much square footage do you guys have, and how are you using it?
our windows are definitely a big draw. We have this beautiful skyline view of the city. It's a little cloudy today, but where we're sitting, it's about 10,000 square feet of exhibition space.
Okay.
And then there's the back of house, which will have Lauren's studio in it, also conference rooms, areas for employees. But another important aspect that we are putting in is a full catering kitchen.
As you think about your own gallery, your own space, like models that exist already of how a typical gallery functions versus how you want to make yours, what are maybe some of the takeaways that you have that you can share with your friends, or ideas that you bring into the table, or that you have discovered that maybe you are trying yourself?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that comes to mind for me is just collaboration. I personally love collaborating, and I think that's how some of the the best things come to fruition, is just through that. And once we fully launch, we've been sort of beta testing and doing these kind of like art viewings for Third Fridays, which has been great. So we've been spotlighting, single artists for each one. But once we open, there's going to be a ton of different artists in here. We're doing a big focus on local and like regional because we feel that's important.
Okay.
But we're going to be creating these sort of thematically curated like installations in here, and I think through that you really have to have an open dialogue with the artist because they need to feel confident and comfortable with the ways in which we're going to be showing and representing their work. It's not a typical white wall gallery, so we really are rethinking how are people experiencing their work. Maybe they've seen the work already, but we're giving it a new breath of life in this different environment. So there's a lot of trust happening, a lot of open conversations with the artists, and that's like a big part of it. Even with the show that was up now, we did like a performance piece, and that was one of the most, it was scary and a little bit risky, but so exciting and like such a reward because we really collaborated to create something like a totally fresh experience for everyone.
Super. So maybe Scott, if you can tell us a little bit about the current exhibition, which we have right now, which actually we're going to share with our friends because it's closing very soon.
Yes.
So if you can share, when is the closing date and what's the show about? What our friends can experience, to see when they come.
Sure. So the show is called Strange Etiquette. It features a Chicago-based artist, Bobby Meyer. She is an interdisciplinary artist, but I think what draws us to her work is these large-scale fiber soft sculptures that she creates. And you see a bunch of them around us right now. She's like. It all has a sense of like nostalgia to it. She's drawing from her history. There are kind of these grotesque forms. They're sensuous. They're
bodily.
They're sometimes weird, but they're also familiar in a strange way because she incorporates a lot of like found objects. So I think we titled it Strange Etiquette. Because we are presenting something that it seems familiar, it seems like you know how you're supposed to enter a space and interact with the work, but everything is just distorted a little bit. So with that, we also want to create this experience with the lighting. So we don't have, we put some more drama behind our lighting. I think that's one of the key things that we think for our exhibition space is Lauren with a part of our team, like we invested in Schuler Shook lighting, theatrical lighting designers, just because we want to make the experience just like more theatrical.
Theatrical would be the word.
So tell us about the event that's coming up.
So for our closing reception, we're going to have it this Saturday, February 1st from 1 to 6 p.m. Bobby will be here. She'll be speaking at 4 p.m. I think she's going to kind of just lead us around the exhibition and talk more in depth about each of the pieces, kind of the inspiration behind them. I think the form and the material of each of the work is very essential to her. So how she manipulated, I think even me talking with her, there's like a lot of fun surprises about each piece that I did. Like, there's hair in this piece, and where is this human hair at? Kind of thing. We also will be screening two performances we had at the opening, Wrapped #1 and Wrapped #2, that Bobby did in collaboration with dancer Iris Park. It was amazing, and so we do have some footage from that. So
she'll probably talk a little bit more about that as well.
Excellent.
I'm excited to hear.
So for the friends who want to come, and of course we invite all friends to come over, what's the address?
Yes, that's important. It's 1010 West 35th Street, Suite 500. We're right next door to Antique Taco, across from Joby Art Center.
Exactly.
And we're on the 5th floor. There's a parking lot, which is great.
It's also the former Spiegel administration building, so it's a landmark building, so there's a lot of history around it.
Yes.
That's so fun.
It's very cool. And also, where our friends can find you on social media?
We are on Instagram. It's at Salonlb _. Then our website is just salonlb.com.
Very cool. And so we are pretty excited about what you guys are doing here in Bridgeport. Very happy to have you as our neighbors.
No, we're so excited to be in Bridgeport. I think there's such a cool vibe here.
Yeah, it's great. And we look forward to see how this space will be transformed. So we'll be back again
Yes,
for another
I hope
breakfast
so.
episode.
Yes.
And maybe next time I'll bring breakfast.
Perfect.
So we can have breakfast.
Awesome.
Thanks again, guys, for doing this. Thanks, my friends, for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Breakfast with Sergio. We hope to see you here Saturday. If you're in Chicago, share it with your friends. Have a great day. Goodbye.